into two types. There's the type in which it's like a Bitcoin type of currency that'll be an alternative currency in terms of its supply, demand, and an alternative storehold of wealth. And then there's digital currencies. That means there'll be other types of currencies, let's say the dollar or the euro or the Chinese renminbi, that is digitalized. Okay, I think we're going to see a lot more of that second type. But I think that there are three main problems of the first type, the Bitcoin type of that. Theoretically, it's good, but the three basic things are a currency has to be an effective medium of exchange, storehold of wealth, and the governments want to control it. So I today can't take my Bitcoin yet and go buy things easily with it. And as a storehold of wealth, it's so volatile that its volatility based on speculation is so much greater that it's not an effective storehold of wealth. And which is also one of the reasons it's a problem to be a transaction vehicle, because if a vendor says, I'm going to get paid in Bitcoin, and they don't know what that means in terms of their other liabilities, that's a problem. And then thirdly, governments won't, and if it becomes material, governments won't allow it. I mean, they'll outlaw it, and they'll use whatever teeth they have to enforce that. They would say, okay, you can't transact a Bitcoin, you can't have a Bitcoin. So then you have to sort of be almost like, is it a felony? And I'm going to have to be a felon in order to transact. They outlawed gold. What's wrong with gold? But gold was a storehold of wealth. And so if I was to say, what would I prefer, Bitcoin to gold? No, I wouldn't prefer Bitcoin to gold. Gold is will be the vehicle. There's either that central banks and countries use as an alternative to the regular cash, because each central bank can print cash. But through time, when countries dealt with each other, they used gold because they didn't have to worry about being devalued by some country that's going to print the gold. And so it still is our third largest reserves, if you take central bank reserves. The largest is the dollar, the second largest is euros, and the third largest is gold. So, so if I'm dealing with classic currencies, I'm really sort of getting into the storehold of wealth domain. That also includes stocks in that storehold of wealth. But I don't think digital currencies will succeed in the way people hope they would for those reasons.